when you think about your phone contacts, you probably have a lot of people that serve the same perfect prospects and ideal clients. Create a partnership with them. Reach out to those people. I'm a fan, and in the book, we teach create your own alliance. We call it a business alliance.
Hey everyone, Chris G here, Hard Hat the CEO. It's another episode ready to go. Ooh, I rhymed. Got a little sideways there. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about referrals. And why are referrals so important? Because we want to grow our business, right? And I had the pleasure of having the king of referrals. And not only the king, he's also the #1 bestseller of Raving Referrals book series. So welcome, Brandon Barnum.
Thank you.
Hey, Randy, how are you doing?
I'm doing blessed beyond belief, Chris. Thanks for having me.
I apologize. Well, Brandon, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you would.
Well, so my day job, I run HOA.com. I'm the CEO of HOA.com. So all those homeowner associations that people hate, we're on a mission to revolutionize the industry. We're bringing AI to HOAs and then really helping to create unity through community like you see behind me. So that's
Awesome.
what I focus my time on. And in addition to that, I teach people how to create more raving referrals for their business.
Well, how do you do the Raving referrals part? Because I know my contractors out there, my business owners, that's one of the easiest sales you can get is a referral. So, in my opinion, would you
Yeah,
agree
no,
with it?
you're totally right. I mean,
Yeah.
when someone is referred to you, they're 400% more likely to hire you. And if you've got people doing B2B work, B2B sales are 84% of the time they're driven by referrals, right? So somebody selling to a business owner, commercial contract, you definitely want to work by referral because there's a trust transfer that takes place. And so people trust you more and they end up spending more money with you when they come to you by referral.
That's awesome. So you said there's a series of books. Is there more than one?
Yeah, we've got 4. This was the first one, Raving Referrals. The one I just came out with in February is called Raving Referrals for Real Estate Agents. We've got one for mortgage pros as well. And I've got another one for dentists. I don't have a copy here with me at the moment, but I haven't done one yet for the construction industry. It's on the list.
What's the best way to get a referral? I mean, besides you ask, I assume maybe, or do you just
Definitely,
follow?
there's the art of the ask. That's one of the things that we teach. That's probably the #1 thing that most people don't do because they don't feel comfortable and confident asking for referrals. And it's because they haven't been taught the way to do it in a way that's serving rather than selling, right? So most people feel like when they're asking for referral, they're asking for themselves. And what we teach is the art of the ask. And there's a way that you can do it where you're actually just serving your clients. And in the process, you get more business. So Chris, you want me to walk you through that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. Well, in
You were
the
reading
art
my
of
mind.
well, I kind of saw it on your face. In the art of the ask, there's 3 steps. Okay. The first step is to set the stage. Then we want to listen for the referral triggers. And third step is to ASK to GEG, asking for referrals the right way at the right time. So let me unpack that for you. The
Sure.
most important step is step 1, is setting the stage. When you get a client that hires you for a job, what you want to do is after they've signed the contract, before you let them out of your office or off Zoom, you say, hey, before I let you go, can I ask you a quick question, quick favor? Would it be okay? I'm so committed to creating a 5-star experience, really going above and beyond to deliver excellence for you. Would it be okay once I've proven myself if I ask you for a testimonial and referrals? And what you'll find is you'll get 100% of people that will say yes, because you're not putting them on the spot. You're not asking for a referral now. You're setting the stage. Now, you'll actually get some referrals right away because somebody will say, well, sure. And, while you mention it, my brother, sister, aunt, cousin, client, coworker was just telling me that they needed to hire somebody to fix up their home and do a renovation or an addition. And so I'll refer you right now, right? Because they've already chosen to work with you. But
Hmm.
it's not about getting the business right now, even though that will happen. It's really setting the stage for the future. Okay. So that's step
You're
1.
you're allowing, you're getting the permission to ask for it later. Is that kind
You're
of the
earning the right to ask for it later, right? You're really
gotcha?
saying, if I do a great job for you, then do
Hmm.
I earn your permission, like you said, to ask you for referrals later on? 100%. 100%.
Okay.
So no, we're not selling. We're not
Nope.
asking for anything right now. We're not pushing anybody to do anything. You will get some referrals, but now you start to serve your clients, right? You do the
Right.
job, you impress them with your communication, you're on time and on budget, you're in integrity, and you just do a great job for them. Now you listen for the referral trigger. That's step two. And the
Hmm.
referral trigger is basically what you want to hear is, wow, this looks amazing, Chris. You are such a great carpenter, painter, plumber, whatever it is, right? You've done such a good job. This looks incredible. You really want to hear wow. That's the best thing you can hear. But whether it's wow, whether it's thank you, whether it's, this looks awesome, that's an expression of appreciation. That means they're in peak referral state. Okay. That's when you want to ask for referral. And it's really easy. Now we're into step three. We've heard the referral trigger. Now it's time to ASK to GET. Okay. And you're going to ask the right way at the right time. They're in peak referral state. That's the right time. Now, how do you say it in the right way? Well, I'm so glad to hear that, Chris. Remember, we first started working together. I told you I was going to wow you with the job that we deliver for you. Well, now that you've seen the quality of our workmanship and the professionalism of our company, I'd like to ask you for a testimonial. And if there's anybody that that's looking to, and it depends on what your industry is, right? But
Hmm.
anybody that's looking to hire somebody like me right now, and you'll customize that for your industry. If there's anybody that's looking to do a remodel for their home, or expansion, or do a commercial job, whatever it is that you're providing, and then what you'll find is they're much more likely to refer you because now they've experienced your work firsthand. They've got a success story. And what's the beauty is, all throughout the process, because you set the stage at the beginning, they're
Hmm.
already on the lookout. As they start, it's called reticular activator, right? Once we draw our attention to something, we start seeing it all the time. So now they're going to hear stories of other people, and they're going to be on the lookout, and they're likely going to refer you before you even ask. But at the end of the process, you can ask with confidence because it's really about serving, not selling.
First thing you said, ASKGET, and the GET I assume is get.
It is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So get it. Once you ask for it, get it. Type
Yeah,
of.
and the reason I teach it that way, that's the way it was taught to me. My mentor is Mark Victor Hansen. He
Oh,
wrote all
I
those
didn't.
chicken soup for the soul books. I was
Yes,
just
he
with him
did.
2 days ago. And so that's how he taught me. He's like, look, if you want more, you got to ask more. And so that's what we teach.
Gotcha. Now I want to go a little because we're talking about AI in a little while, but
Sure.
some of the automation, is it more, you get more referrals by doing it in person than you would through a automated type thing? And we're going to talk about reviews too. And I know reviews and referrals are two different things
They are.
at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Um, they might get you the same. No, a referral is more personal, I believe. But anyway,
It is.
the idea is to get proof out there that you're doing a great job. The
That's right.
referral is more personable because it's coming from somebody they know. Do you ask for that every time personally? Do you feel that's the way to go?
You do. You also want to automate the ask. So that's one of the other things that we teach is to
Hmm.
automate the ask. But yes, you want to ask in person because you've built relational equity with that person, right? They know you're going to do a job. They know you're going to live up to your word and do what you say you're going to do. And so you want to ask them personally, but then you should also automate it into your systems, your invoices, your thank you, your, whatever. If you deliver some sort of final estimate or warranty work, whatever you provide, just add a line in there. We love referrals. The greatest gift you can give us is a referral.
And make it as easy as possible for them to do that would be, I think, a bonus, right?
100%. We teach be easy to refer, right? So have some materials, some leave behinds. This is a wrap card. We always include a QR code. In a QR
Yeah.
code, you can drive people to a specific landing page and give them an offer. The other thing that we recommend is that you do like a gift card. If you want to do a gift certificate or a gift card for your business, you want to make yourself easy to refer. Create something that is a leave behind for your business, right? And that way, when somebody has something, you can reward them. That's called referral rewards, which you incentivize people to send you business. But if you really systematize your referral business, it'll grow like crazy.
we build a lot of houses and barndominiums, and we like to give a housewarming gift when we're done
Right?
after they paid the last bill, obviously. But anyway,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it's a good way to, it's their new home. They're going to be moving into it, and it's just a nice little bonus is to give something like that out. Um, we do referral stuff through the automation of software,
Yep.
but I am intrigued by that. The one about setting it up first. We're gonna incorporate that to our system.
Yeah, and one of the things I love to do when you talk about gifts, what if you customize things with your clients' names on them, right? This is
Yeah.
something that we do. We use a company for this called Mailbox Power. You can go
Hmm.
check out Mailbox Power. It's kind of like send out cards, but it's completely white labeled for your business. You can send out greeting cards, tumblers, depending on your lifetime client value, right? And for your listeners, I would think the lifetime client value is pretty high. So if somebody's
Yeah.
just done do you call it a Barnuminium?
Barndominium.
Barnuminium. I never heard that before. My last name's Barnum, so I love that. That's
That's right.
fantastic.
It's just a house that looks like a barn on the outside when we're all said and
Yeah,
done. But yeah,
yeah.
those are really
So if somebody does, what's the average price of a Barnuminium?
depending on what size you want. But you can get 150 to 250,000, depending on how big you want it. And
Let's split the middle, call it 200K. Okay. If
yeah,
somebody's just
there you
spent
go.
$200,000 with you, and you probably got a decent profit margin on that job,
Sure.
you can spend $100, $200 on that person. And also, I've got one of these that I really like to show in that case. Let's see if I can find it here, which is a referral card where basically you give somebody a discount, say $500, when they do their job with you, and then you reward the person who referred them $500, for example, right?
Yes. Well, some car dealerships I know that if you refer them and give you a card and this is the guy that sent me, they'll give them a bonus of some sort, either
I
a gift
like to
card
give
or cash.
people cash.
Well, that's a good one.
Now, the back is actually for our company, right?
Yeah.
But it's a great referral tactic, right? Because
Yeah.
what this does is it's like, look, you want $100, or depending on the amount that you're going to pay them, maybe it's $1,000 referral fee on a completed job, and you give this to realtors with $1,000 bill on it, and then just imagine how much more business is coming your way.
Now, it's been several years ago, and it's not near the money we're talking about, but I was at my credit union. I happened to have my credit union T-shirt on for
Yep,
whatever reason that day,
yep.
and the bank manager come out and gave me a $2 bill. And it was just the unique part of $2 bills were odd, but just the fact that he goes, I give everybody that I see wearing our T-shirts $2 bills. Like, well, thank you.
Nice.
And it was something. It was nice, and but I never forget it.
How
And that
long
type
ago
of
was that, Chris?
at least 5 years.
Five
It was
years, and you're still thinking about it. You've
yeah.
never forgotten it.
Nope.
$2, $2.
That's right.
Look at the impact that had, right? And did you refer other people to that credit union? Did you tell people about that
Sure. I tell
story?
people if you're looking for a car loan, that's the place to go. Credit unions, and they've been around a long time. So yeah, I do.
That's amazing goodwill. And now it's a recommendation, a personal success story from you rather than a radio ad or a TV spot.
Certainly.
Nothing better. You can't buy that kind of goodwill.
What are some of the proven referral and I guess sales strategies? And maybe we've been talking about that really the first three steps, but is there anything that well, let's talk about the sales strategy part. You've got a referral
Yep.
from someone
Yep.
and you reach out to that person. What do you
Mhm.
tell them? Hey, so and so tell me to call you, or how's that work?
100%. Yeah, absolutely. You want to use the name of the person that referred you and say, hey, Chris, the reason I'm calling is, Jeff King over at XYZ Realty recommended that we connect, and find out information if you can before you even make that call, right? So that
Mm,
you've got something that you know about that person. Ideally, it's about the challenge that they're facing, because that's why somebody referred you, is to solve that person's challenge.
mhm.
But secondarily, maybe you find out what university they're into, what sports they like, what do they have, dogs or cats, right? What kind of person are they?
Yeah.
Because you want to create rapport with that person as quickly as possible.
I talk about a lot, delegating other people through, get out of the hard hat area. And part of that
Mhm.
delegation is the marketing side. You guys do a lot of case studies, and that's what I would recommend to some of my people is do case studies on the ones that really you wowed, and tag them in Facebook posts or whatever you're doing. But Do you ever do case studies?
Yeah, case studies are great. We've done research studies. I mean, I think in the construction industry, the before and after is one of the best things that you can do, right?
Yeah.
Because now you've got a success story and you've got your client engaged. If you want to get their testimonial and referral, let them know that you want to feature their property and their home or their business, depending on what you're building for them in the case study. You can, in that art of the ask, you can get their permission in advance. You say,
Hmm.
by the way, one of the things I want to do is I'm going to create a before and after for you so that you can see the difference for yourselves, and you can add that into your family photo book, for example. And using mailbox power, you could actually create a thank you card when the job is done, and show them the before and the
And the after.
after to really lock in the value that you made.
That's a great idea. Um, One of the things that we do, and I don't do it, but my working that we'll do the build progression and put that
Yeah,
on Facebook
very
and
cool.
tag them, especially if they have an account, tag them in it. And sometimes you get the referral before you even ask for it or you're done
100%.
with the job because they'll see and everybody's commenting and they'll see their stuff and they'll say something at work about it or something. Hey, I see you're getting a new house or your house is looking great. And that's like, yeah, that's so and so. And then that conversation, who's doing it for you? And it all comes out, especially with a very, very happy client. So,
Absolutely. No, that's a great strategy. One of the other things that we teach is the referral partner blueprint, right? So I love your strategy that you're talking about. And a lot of GCs might have some specialists that they hire, right? And maybe
mhm,
they want to give a shout out. Hey, I just want to give a shout out to Integrity Stone for creating this amazing countertop. And it's
yeah,
part of your process, but you're promoting your partners and they'll do the same back, right? What you want to
mhm,
do is create a team. We call it a trusted team of people that you're building your business with. And if you've got trustworthy subcontractors that you're going to use on an ongoing basis, obviously, you want the clients coming to you and then you hire those guys directly. But if you've got enough business coming at you and you have an abundant mindset, you're not worried about losing out on the subcontract work, the small jobs, because you want the big jobs. And so you want to tag your clients, you want to tag your subcontractors, tag realtors, property managers, the people that are involved in the project, and share them, give them the love, shine the spotlight on them. Really shout out to this person for doing a great job. They went above and beyond, and they're an integral part of our team.
going through my show notes here. You're a big proponent of building networks.
Yes, sir.
What's the best or easiest way to do that, or most effective way?
Well, number one is start with the people that have already sent you business. So in the referral partner blueprint, we teach go after three different groups of people. Okay. Number
Hmm.
one, who is already sending you business that you'd like to double, triple, or 10x the number of referrals that they're giving you? Number two, who are you sending business to that should be sending business back to you? And
Hmm.
then number three, when you think about your phone contacts, you probably have a lot of people that serve the same perfect prospects and ideal clients. Create a partnership with them. Reach out to those people. I'm a fan, and in the book, we teach create your own alliance. We call it a business alliance, right? So you can go to BNI, for example, and Ivan Meisner wrote the foreword of my latest book. So we love BNI. And you can also create your own, even if you just meet once a month. Maybe it's coffee, maybe it's cocktails, depending on what you're into. So you can meet for breakfast before work, or you can meet for cocktails after work, and invite the people that you're doing business with. And just say, hey, we're going to get together at the coffee shop or the pub, and I'm bringing out some of my trusted team. I've got some people I want to introduce you to. And I'm looking right now, I'm looking for a good painter. I'm looking for an electrician. Let people know who it is that you want to add to your team, and say, I'm looking for, somebody that you'd rate as a 9 or 10 out of 10. Who do you know that I should know? Bring them along, make the introduction, and now you've got your own group. And the reason that I recommend you run your own group is because you've got the microphone. and everybody wants to know the leaders, just like you on this
Yeah,
podcast, right?
exactly right. Yeah.
Thank you for having me on your show. This is your show. You run the show. You got the rules. You got the microphone. I'm here as
Yeah.
your guest. But when you think about it like that, if you run a local networking group, and it could be once a quarter even,
Yeah.
but you're just bringing people together and helping them connect and get to know other people they should know.
I was a member of BNI before, and that is an excellent organization.
It
And
is.
for those who don't know what BNI is, it's local groups, and you can search it, but it's business networking. Was it international?
It is.
Yes. And you can look at those meetings, and they're awesome for trades, for example, that people are looking for those type of things.
That's
And
right.
it's basically a meeting weekly, and or in your case, you're talking about creating your own, but basically a meeting where people get together and then share leads, basically. And more than just that, there's some training involved and so forth. And talking about what we're talking about now is how to improve those leads and how to improve your asking and referrals, so forth. So it's a really good
Absolutely.
organization.
It's a great organization. They do an amazing job, and they really, they've been around for over 40 years. And they have, I was just chatting with Ivan Meisner about a month or so ago when he did the forward for my latest book. And, they have over 300,000 members around the world. So I
Yes.
guarantee you there's a chapter in your local city.
I want to shift gears a little bit, go to HOAs.
Aha.
And as a contractor, let's talk about just remodels, for example,
Yeah.
or stuff we have to do. What are kind of rules and what do we have to be aware of when we go into an HOA area? Do we have to get certain? I know we get permits, all that good stuff. Is there other things we have to do with the HOA that we wouldn't necessarily on a regular home?
Yeah, absolutely. You need approval by the Architectural Review Committee, an ARC, and it's really your homeowner is responsible for that, but they've got to present the improvement that they want to do. In most cases, not all, it depends on the size of the job, but depending on what's called the CC&Rs, the conditions, covenants, and restrictions, those are basically the rules that the homeowner agrees to be bound by when they move into that community. And so they agree that everybody's going to operate under the same rules. It's kind of the local administration of that community, if you will, and they need to get approval for the improvement that you're doing.
And I assume that's the same whether it's remodels versus new construction. Do they create home HOAs before construction starts on some of the subdivisions and so forth?
Yeah, you bet. So the HOA is formed in the development phase. Before the first home goes up, the developer creates the homeowner association. It's a nonprofit organization that is formed for the management and administration of that community. So typically, a lot of developers are also the builders. And so they develop it, put in the HOA, and then they start building the homes. And the first buyer has to agree to abide by those rules. Sometimes the developer will sell the development to a different builder, and the builder that inherits it will usually run the HOA until they sell the last home. They build it, they finish the last home, and typically for 1 year afterwards. At the end of that, it gets turned over to a volunteer board. So the homeowners will get elected and serve on that volunteer board. 65% of the time, they'll hire an outside property management company or what's known as a community management company. And so they'll outsource the management of the dues collection, the voting, all the improvements to the infrastructure, like the landscaping, the lights, the
The common
streets,
areas, that type of stuff.
common areas. That's right.
Yeah. Now, years ago, I had to go into a gated community, and to get even to go in, you had to apply to do the work inside that community.
Yeah.
And does some HOAs work that way?
Some do. That's not as frequent because the
Yeah.
homeowners really have the choice. Now, if you're doing commercial jobs, like let's talk about serving the HOAs, those are big
Okay.
contracts, right? So if
Right.
you're a commercial contractor, that can be a massive source of revenue for you. I live in a smaller HOA, we've got 130 homes here. But I guarantee you that landscaping is probably the largest budget line item for the entire community. Typically is landscaping is one of the biggest line items, but we just did a renovation, new shrubs, new gravel, just improved the lights. They just recoded the streets. So there's a lot of opportunity for construction companies to sell directly to the HOAs. In that case, they've got to go through the vendor approval process. But typically, if they're just doing work for the individual homeowner, that homeowner is responsible for selecting the vendor.
Do this all the time. I get so excited I forget other things I was going to ask.
So
We were talking about
yeah, I'll
HOA.
tell you one of the things while you're thinking of that,
Yeah,
Chris,
go ahead.
we're just rolling out a certified HOA specialist designation, because what we realized, 53% of all homeowners in the US live in an HOA. Most don't love their HOA, so that's the mission for us, is to create unity through community. But what we're doing is we're certifying real estate agents to become experts in HOAs, because over half of their listings are in HOAs, and they want to win more listings in top HOAs. So we're
Sure.
teaching them all the rules and regulations, how it all works and structures and functions. And it's about a 4-hour online course. And then they get a designation as a certified HOA specialist. And then we help them connect with that board and with those homeowners so that they really do what we call hyper local social farming. They farm that community and they become that top trusted pro for that neighborhood.
I realized what I was going to ask, and it's curiosity. You mentioned earlier about how AI in your HOA is working. How are you using AI when it comes to homeowners associations?
Oh, yeah. So, really interesting question. I'm glad you asked. There's so many things that we can automate through with the HOA. So, what we're building out is a system to manage the budgets, the dues collection, the document management, maintenance requests, architectural reviews, vendor selection, violation tracking, the communication from the board, and so much more. But what
Wow.
we've done so
Okay.
far, we've been piloting an AI concierge. And so what happens is homeowners call in. Our
Mhm.
AI knows all the CCNRs. It knows the bylaws and the architectural review process. So when a homeowner calls in, they're actually talking to our AI. Most of the time, they don't realize they're talking to a computer. But they ask their question and they get the answer. So instead of that homeowner calling in and having to leave a voicemail, because most of the time the HOA doesn't pick up,
It's
and most of
aggravating.
the time, they
Yeah.
don't answer their emails, right? So then the homeowners get frustrated. So with our system, the homeowners get the answers that they need, usually in under 4 minutes. 78, we've done over 10,000 phone calls so far. 78% of the time, the homeowner gets what they need, and a human doesn't even have to get involved. 22% of the time, a human gets involved because the homeowner needs something specific. They need a resale agreement that a human's got to go track down, get it for him, and email it to him. But what it does is it improves the situation for everyone involved.
As a contractor, build his business. My partners and I bought, this has been years ago, we bought a HOA community and
Yeah.
we were building houses there. But if I wanted to start one up from scratch, what would be the best thing to do? Go to a lawyer or contact somebody like you to help get a little guidance?
Yeah, in the future, so what we're working on right now is the blueprint, kind of the templated best practice, gold standard for
Mhm.
all of the HOA documents. That's not the business we're in the moment. That'll be a future state and evolution of our company. So that's what we do in the future. But yeah, a development attorney will be able to help you with those.
Is there different states have different rules based on the HOAs?
Me too. Yeah, every
I'm
state is different, right? We live
not,
in the
I'm
United
not
States
surprised
of
by the
America.
answer, but I figure I better ask. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's totally true. And here, I live in Arizona. I was talking to the commissioner of the Department of Real Estate here, and they want us to create an HOA governing documents database, because realtors will write listings or offers on a listing, and they'll come to find out later that the CCNRs are restricted, but they can't get access to them until after the fact. And because all the laws are different in every state, and then all the CCNRs are different in every community, there's no standardization in this industry yet. That's what we're working on. That's part of the master plan.
The community part.
Yeah,
Everybody get along. It's as important to give as to receive, right?
you bet. You bet.
And so reciprocating, do you give first? Is that
Yeah,
one of the things to do?
Yeah, so one of the things that we teach is to give first, right, as often as possible. But let's talk about networking, for example, because I think
Okay.
this is something that a lot of people don't know how to do, and they feel uncomfortable and awkward going into a networking event.
Yes,
And so,
it's not pleasant. I mean, well,
Mhm.
I don't find it pleasant. Some
Yeah,
people are very natural at it, and that's important, and good salespeople are. But I do it because I know it's necessary, but it's something I
yeah,
don't enjoy.
right.
So, do you have any tricks on that?
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
So first of all, go in with a plan and with an intention. I think a lot of people go into networking events and they kind of bumble around and talk to strangers, and they really don't have a plan of who they want to meet, and then they go in and they don't know who to talk to, and so they just talk to the next person that's sitting there with a beer in their hand, and
And they end
they
up
don't
knowing
really
I can
have.
talk to them because they have nobody else to talk to.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
All
So
right.
here's what I recommend. Number one,
Okay.
know why you're going. Network strategically. Go in there with an intention. Like if you're going to a networking event, Chris, if you were going into a networking event tonight, who would you be looking to meet? Is there a type of professional that would be good for your business?
Yes. Those who, in my case, will be home. Now, it depends on if I'm doing for the coaching part, then
Okay.
I'm looking for somebody who's owns a business
Okay.
and in the growing stage.
Yeah.
And I would look for that, not startups. I mean,
Right.
I have an idea who I'm looking for. It's my ideal avatar type thing. So,
Okay. Well, let's take that. Let's stay there for a second. So,
sure,
is there a minimum revenue that they need to be doing?
300,000 or more.
Okay. Okay. Great. So, is there a number of years in business that you want to see?
Typically 3.
3 years? Okay,
Yeah.
great. Let's take that. So, what I would recommend now you've got your bullseye, you know what the center of your bullseye looks like, right?
Mhm.
You walk into a networking event. The first thing you want to do is go meet the people that organize the event and let them know who you're looking to meet. They know everybody in the room,
They know
typically,
the, yeah.
right? So instead of
Mhm.
stumbling in, instead of just checking in and then blindly going around and meeting people, talk to the people that are leading the event and let them know, hey, by the way, I'm a business coach exclusively for contractors. And typically I'm looking for, companies and maybe electricians, painters, plumbers in the home services trade. And I'm looking to connect with people that have been in business for at least 3 years and are really looking to grow and scale their company. Who would be
Mhm.
a good person for me to talk to here tonight? Oh, you need to talk to so
Oh,
and such, right?
and that's
Now
their
you
job almost. They know.
that
I
is
mean,
their job.
yeah.
You got
I
it,
mean,
man. That is their
that's right.
job. And that's what they want to do. They want to see you win. The last thing they want you to do is to walk around feeling uncomfortable. Instead, then what you say, they say, oh, you need to meet Jeff. You say, oh, that's awesome. Would you mind introducing me?
And sure, that's, yeah, hang on the note. Yeah, that's what they
Of
do.
course they will. That's their job. So they
Mhm.
get joy out of that. They get satisfaction connecting you, because now one of the reasons I love connecting other people is anytime I've done that, you're adding value to both people, right? So
Yes.
your stock is increasing in both people's minds. Let's take the networking event out of it for a second. I
Okay.
connect people all the time. I just connected the CEO of American Dream TV with the CEO of a real estate platform that has 900,000 agents on it. Okay. Total complementary business, added massive value to both people. And guess what? Anytime they connect, who are they talking about? This guy, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
I love that Brandon guy. Because I'm the only thing they have in common right now.
Common. Yeah, the common denominator.
And
Nice.
so it's natural for them to start because they might both feel these people wouldn't feel uncomfortable, but maybe they
Sure.
would.
Yeah.
And so the comfortable place is the thing we have in common, right? So back to the networking example, you get the leader of the event to introduce you. Now, guess what? Your stock just rose with that other person that you're getting introduced to. And they're going to say, by the way, hey, I want to introduce you to Chris. He specializes in helping companies really, 10x their results. Whatever you've told them you do, they're
Yep.
going to pass on to the other
Repeat
person.
right to it. Yeah.
And now you've got your perfect prospect. You're not stumbling around in the dark trying to find the right person. You've got it from the get.
Awesome. That is a little golden nugget to take home with everybody.
Pro tip.
So the goal for everybody this week is go out and find somebody to network with. And if not, then find somebody to help you network with someone. So that's awesome.
Well, Chris, the other thing is never
Yeah.
network alone. Don't go alone. Take somebody with you. Your networking wingman, right? Like if you know that you're going to go to a networking event,
Hmm.
invite the people that you're building your referral partnerships with. Even if they don't say yes, you get credit. It gives you a reason to reach out and you're inviting them. You're adding value into your relationship. Now, if they decide to go with you, what you want to do is at the beginning of that event, just let them know, hey, by the way, here's who I'm looking to connect with. So as you go through the event tonight, that's who I'm on. First, you want to ask them, who is it that you want to connect with tonight? Who would be a great win for you of anybody you could meet tonight? If you could wave your magic wand, who would it be? Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Okay. I'm going to be on the lookout and I'm going to be scouting to see if I can find that
Right.
type of
Keep my
person for
eyes
you.
peeled for your guy
And
and
just
why
so
the
you know, here's who I'm
Yeah,
looking for, right? So
that's right.
now you added value to your referral partners. You've got a reason to reach out and invite them out. If they come out, now you're working the room together. And then when you find the right person, you're like, oh, I got to introduce you to Jeff.
That's right. And you go get them introduction, and that helps the whole. And then again, the common denominator is you or me doing
That's
the
right.
introduction, and that's
And build
awesome.
them up. When you introduce them, say, by the way, I've known this man for years. He does incredible work. He always delivers on budget, on time, whatever's true for you. Don't lie
Sure.
ever, right?
Right.
But what you want to do is elevate their expert authority in that conversation. So the other person that you're introducing and connecting with feels like this is somebody worth their time.
Great. Well, Brandon, I sure appreciate your time today. If somebody wanted to reach out to you, what's the best way to reach out to you and connect, network, obviously?
Yeah, you bet. So, number one, if you serve businesses or HOAs, go to HOA.com. You can click on the button that says Become a Pro, and we have a vetting process. We take everybody through background checks because we're looking for 5-star pros for our national referral network. So, that's a great place. And if you want to connect with me, you can go to brandonbarnum.com and you'll find me and all the stuff that I do, including the referral score quiz. That's a quick, easy, free assessment that people can take to see how they rank when it comes to the 10 referral best practices.
We'll make sure that link is in our show notes.
All right.
Barnum is Barnum, right?
It is. Yep. Just like the greatest showman. There you go.
There you go. Just like Barnum and Bailey. All right.
Right.
Also, I assume you get your books on Amazon?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Amazon
Well,
or ravingreferrals.com, either place.
if you guys enjoyed our episode, please hit the like button and all that subscribe stuff and notifications. And you know the routine, but obviously in the show notes as well. If you want to get with me and make a breakthrough meeting about your business, go right in the show notes, set up a time, and we'll be happy to chat. Brandon, thank you for your time today again. And you all have a wonderful week. Bye bye.